You ever just stop playing a game even though you were really enjoying it? Not because it got bad, not because you were bored, but for some reason you just didn't go back. I've done this more times than I can count, and it's always made me wonder. When you first start a game, everything is new and exciting. The world, the mechanics, the story, everything. And this is multiplied if it's a game you've been looking forward to for a long time. You are so curious about everything going on in the game, you are excited to explore even mundane parts of the game. And because of how games are structured, early exploration and curiosity is rewarded to reinforce the fact that you should keep doing this throughout the game because you will keep getting rewarded. It's like when you first give a kid sugar. Once they've had a taste for it, they keep wanting more. But, like with candy, eventually this feeling becomes expected and normal. So when it doesn't deliver, you can be let down. This can also happen if you overdo it with your playtime. Now, don't get me wrong, if you really, really enjoy a game, then there isn't such a thing as too much, or at least it can seem that way. In the beginning, it can be that you are truly just enjoying the game so much, you want to play it as much as possible. But given enough time, usually a week or two for me, if you only play that game all the time, you might start to play it because it's just what you've gotten used to, not because you actually want to keep going. Because sometimes, even if you are really enjoying something a lot, it can still get old if that's all you do. It's at this point that it varies by person, and maybe this doesn't happen to you, but I'm speaking from experience. After a certain amount of time, around 2 weeks of only playing one game in my case, you can stop playing for fun and start playing to finish. In the time that you've been playing, you may have not realized it, but you've slowly turned playing the game into a task to get to the end. Maybe at the start of the game, you were doing every side quest available to you before you went to the next story checkpoint, but at some point you got tired of doing this and started powering through the main story. Most recently, this happened to me with Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. In the beginning, I was doing every side quest I could before I continued the story. But flash forward, and all of a sudden, I was just doing the main story. And to be honest, I don't even know why. I loved the side quests. When you start to have this feeling, the ideal thing to do is take a break for a day or two, maybe even a week, and then come back to enjoy the game to its fullest. But most of the time, what happens is you feel like you need to keep going instead of wanting to keep going. This could be for a few reasons. You are so close to finishing the game that you just want to get there, or simply you just feel the need to finish the game because of the time you have already put in, and are worried that by taking a break it would somehow negate that progress that you've made. But that is not something you need to worry about. The game will always be there. Now, given what I just covered, you may be surprised to hear me say it's not good to be constantly checking your enjoyment of the game while playing it. You may find yourself constantly questioning during gameplay if you are still enjoying this, or could your time be spent better elsewhere. And it might sound like a good thing to do, be aware of how what you are doing affects you, but in the case of video games, this constant checking can really pull you out of the game. This is pretty obviously a bad thing, because part of what makes games so exciting and engaging is the fact that you get sucked into this world that you get to play a role in, and lose track of time doing so. But when you're constantly enjoyment checking, you restart the immersion progress every time you ask yourself that question. Some of my best memories with games come from the fact that I was so immersed in the joy of the game that I lost track of time. In Donkey Kong Bonanza, for example, I was fighting the boss until 2 in the morning and I didn't even realize it. I was having so much fun that I didn't care how long I was playing for. Just imagine if I had been hyper aware of any small decrease in joy and constantly thought about if I was enjoying myself. I would never have actually let myself have fun to begin with. This is my biggest enemy when it comes to playing games. I find myself playing a game I'm really enjoying, and it's the only thing I've been playing for 2 weeks, and I'm still having a great time. So what's the problem? Well, usually around Steam sales or my birthday or Christmas, I get multiple games that I really want, and I pick one to start. And surprise, surprise, I really enjoy it, so obviously I play it a lot. But eventually, after playing it, there's this nagging voice in the back of my head, saying that I should give the other games a shot because I haven't played them yet, or at least not as much as I have played the main game. But why would I stop playing something I'm enjoying? Just because of the principle behind it? Yep, that's pretty much it. Consider the fact that this is with a few games around holidays, and then look at how a backlog of dozens of games magnifies this feeling. Now, there are other reasons for doing this. The human mind is naturally curious and interested in all possibilities, so when there are multiple options, whether that be newly purchased games or your backlog of games, the possibilities start taking over your mind, and even if the game you've been playing is a fantastic game, it is hard to compete with human curiosity and intrigue. Let's say that you haven't related to anything else covered in the video so far, but you still find yourself not finishing games you love. What could be the reasoning behind that? I'm glad you asked, dear viewer, because I was just going to talk about that. Simply put, finishing a game means that it's over. And when you really enjoy something, of course you don't want it to be over. This can be a subtle mental barrier that you don't really notice in the moment, but looking back on it, you may realize that it's the reason you didn't finish a game. Related to this is the fact that delaying the ending can feel like preserving the experience. If you haven't finished a game, that means you must still be playing it, and you love playing it. This is a sort of protective mechanism you may use. You have memories with the game, experiences you're fond of, and it can feel weird to end the game that gave you these things. But really, finishing a game doesn't have to change those memories. Sure, you won't necessarily be able to easily create those memories once you finish the game for the first time, but having experienced the whole story will make you have more of an appreciation for everything else you did in the game, as it brought you towards the goal. And looking back on the game as a whole, you may be even more fond of it than you already were. There's no one reason that you quit games. It can be a combination of everything covered in this video as well as other external factors, such as the type of person you are, the time you are able to spend playing games, and other important things going on in your life. The unfortunate thing about this is the fact that it's hard to offer a concrete solution that will work for everyone, but I'm gonna try anyways. Really, it all comes down to getting out of your own head, and I know that's hard, but just try. Let yourself really experience the games as you want to. Think about your enjoyment after you are done with a play session, and before your next session, maybe ask yourself, do I actually want to play this, or am I just playing it out of habit? If it's a hard question to answer, you should probably take a break from that game, and maybe even gaming as a whole for a couple of days. You didn't quit because the game failed, or because you don't like games anymore. You quit because of how you experienced it. Do you find yourself not finishing games you love? If so, let me know what the most recent game this has happened with for you in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you haven't already, as it helps the channel out a ton. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and good gaming to you all.